This movie isn't about money, but if you own even one XRP, it could be one of the most important ones you watch this week. Allow me to explain. Because while everyone is talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, something crazy is happening below the surface. It's called XRP. The whole Ripple team is behind this too. These are professionals who work more like business bankers than crypto developers. These people aren't just making a way to pay, they're also creating a new financial system that will allow money to move around the world like a rail system. Also, guess what? That's the exact reason we picked XRP. There's no need for us to set a silly seven-figure price goal. We're here because it's useful, really useful. XRP is more than a coin, it's the link. For less than a penny, it's a bridge between all the banks in the world that want to settle funds right away. I want to know what else in the world can do that, because this is what's going on behind the scenes. 11 big banks with more than $240 billion in assets have officially asked the SEC to allow them to start an XRP ETF. That's right, you heard that right. Now let us think back to what happened to Bitcoin after its ETF was accepted. Institutions didn't just poke around, they jumped right in. A lot of money came in. Bitcoin didn't just go up, everything changed. What will happen if XRP gets the same go-ahead? From what we've seen, Ripple's team is ready. These aren't moon boys telling you to dream of a Lamborghini. These are Wall Street level managers from the Ivy League, the real thing. And now for the truth. XRP can be used for something. This isn't gambling on vaporware like 95% of the market is. This is the building blocks. And XRP is no longer being ignored right now. Bitcoin has gone through the roof. When top experts like Mike McGlone and Tom Lee think Bitcoin could reach $150,000, $200,000, or even $300,000 per coin, it would be a big deal. In real life, how high could XRP really go? Let's figure it out. XRP is worth about $4.34 right now. And yes, it is a little lower today. That's okay. The market goes up and down. It's not just a trade, though. This changes things because XRP has something Bitcoin didn't have. Instant use for the trillions of dollars that flow around the world every day. Imagine a world where any financial institution in any country that works with it could settle in any asset in a matter of seconds. It's not a dream. That's XRP. This tech isn't going to come out. It's right here now. And Ripple's team is moving this forward with more than 60 licenses to work as a regulated banking institution around the world. However, stablecoins are doing very well. This is where things get really interesting for people who own XRP. One of the stablecoins that is growing the fastest right now is Ripple's RLUSD. It came out not long ago in June. Its market value has already gone over $500 million. That's right. The value of RLUSD went from $0 to over $500 million in just 6 months. It went from being the 36th biggest stablecoin to the 17th largest. It's not ending there. What does that matter? You should know this isn't just another stablecoin. RLUSD is linked to Ripple's suite of products. Also, guess what? RLUSD adds more value to XRP every time it is used on the XRPL. Why? Auto bridging is the reason. I'll break it down for you. On the XRP system, XRP is the main currency. This means that when you trade one asset for another, say RLUSD for another stablecoin or token, the XRPL can use XRP to make sure the trade goes through the best route possible. In other words, more RLUSD used means more XRP volume, which means more XRP BURNED, and that's just the start. Unpopular point of view? If you ask around, RLUSD could be the most underrated stablecoin of 2025. Nothing is being said about this truth. RLUSD has grown by more than 604% so far this year. It is already the second fastest rising stablecoin in the world. The only coin that is rising faster is USDTB from BlackRock. For sure, BlackRock, the world's largest wealth manager. The race to make stablecoins is also on. Ripple is right behind them, though. Ripple, BlackRock, and PayPal, three of the biggest players in stablecoins, all see the same thing. In the next step of crypto, real-world assets and funds will be turned into tokens. That's where the growth is. There are about $250 billion in the stablecoin market right now, but in the next few years, that number could reach $1 to $2 trillion. Ripple was late to the party, but they were ready. Why? Stablecoins have been used by Ripple to help settle business payments for years. They know this market well. They've earned our trust. They're more likely to follow through. They're not guessing. They're doing it. Ripple isn't playing around with this. They have more than 60 licenses around the world. They are getting ready to win. Also, people who own XRP, pay attention. RLUSD works well with XRP. It's not the same as it. it gets bigger. Most of the time, XRP is used as the bridge when RLUSD is sold on the XRPL. And when that happens, more XRP is taken out of circulation for good. This is the part that most people miss. At the moment, 83% of all RLUSD action takes place on Ethereum, not the XRP ledger. Why? Since most people tend to stick with what they know. Users and coders should choose Ethereum because it is safe, but it's slower and costs more than Ripple's service. When that 83% changes and more volume moves to XRPL, the burn rate for XRP will go through the roof. That's when things get hot, because XRP is already worth more than 188, even though most RLUSD is on Ethereum. Now think about what will happen when RLUSD is used on the XRP system like it is now. That's the thing that no one is pricing in. Get the Ultimate Millionaire Investor Guide. Find 100x stocks in the pinned comment if you want to find 100x opportunities before Wall Street does. This isn't just another PDF. It's an elite level plan that was made after years of study and includes documents, pictures, video breakdowns, and more. This is the kind of help you'll use again and again when you need to find another winner. First, let's talk about how burn works. This is what makes XRP different from most layer ones. The XRP record burns a small amount of XRP with each event. In other words, the amount goes down over time as more is used.